Hey everyone, welcome back. And here we go for number 3. And I don't have anything that rhymes with that. The last time I had
Yeah, you're spitting like crazy.
Yeah, now I'm tongue-tied. Anyways.
Stage fright.
Money Game. Well, it was just too much pressure now.
Yeah, I get that.
Money Game Part 3. This is the new video that Ren put out recently to add on to the trilogy that he started. Or, well, I mean, it is a trilogy now because it's the third video.
Yeah, I guess so.
But what we were kind of saying in the last video is that the last 2 videos were done quite a few years ago, far between. And will this be the last one? Will this video conclude? Tune in. I was going to anyways, blow something off that. Oh, I'm not going to.
Well, I mean, with this guy, he's such a poet, he could take it on forever, so who knows?
Yeah,
I mean, really, greed just never ends, so you can sing about it forever.
It's an open subject.
Exactly. It is really an open subject. It continues every day, so we'll see where he takes on this one.
So, further ado, let's do this.
Let's do this. Phantom of the Opera. Bit of a bigger budget on this video. Samuel and Ren
video. This has a similar vibe to the first one.
Mm-hmm. Who's who though?
That one's Ren. Definitely. The one standing.
Yeah.
Like I could in the hands. I
can see it in the hands.
Tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly, 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then a lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
You should answer that. It might be important.
It might be more money.
35, he gets a call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed up, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
At that point, what do you got?
Exactly.
What's the point of all that money now?
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him. And it's a version of she. And it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas. Did I mention? Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
Reverts back to his actions of the first one.
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consume till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise. 45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
It's funny how I like blinked as soon as he clicked that. I'm like, I'm gonna hear the bang.
Yeah, it's weird you didn't hear the
click.
bang. You just did a click.
I like that.
Yeah, his storytelling is just next level.
And from what I said earlier, like, I mean, yeah, this is Money Game Part 3, but each story is a little bit different, obviously. Like, it's a different point he's making.
Yeah, exactly. Different point of view, I guess.
Well, like, I mean,
perspective.
He kind of touched on politics with one, and this one, like, it's more of, like, how actually, like, the formation of crime establishes from... It's funny how we're so impressionable when we're young. Mm-hmm. And all it takes is, like, pretty much our life circumstances to create who we are. And unfortunately, it's society has a lot of control over those circumstances. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, you know, with Jimmy's father, he probably grew up thinking, like, you know, you have to fight for everything that you have because no one's going to help you. You need to grasp every little bit of power. And to that actually, to be a man is to have all that power, wealth, and money. You just gotta keep on going. But his father never said, well, when do you stop? When is enough is enough?
Honestly, it sounded like his father didn't even know.
His father sounded like an asshole, obviously.
Well, he came from a lot of wealth, or he built a lot of wealth, so
who knows? Maybe not, or maybe he just expected better things from his son. Yeah.
You know, there's one thing I've been hearing a lot lately, especially with how the economy is going. I always hear about, ways to build generational wealth, meaning
it gets passed down.
Exactly. And obviously, you and I don't know that perspective of generational wealth. So obviously,
I know I come from generational poorness,
poverty. Yeah, but like I'm wondering.
That's been inherited times and times over in my family.
But my question is, I wonder if anyone out there has experienced generational wealth, and like, do you see positives coming out of it, or do you see negatives coming out of it, or have you ever experienced someone that came from it and, you know, are they lazy or are they, you know, work driven? You know, I've always wondered that, like, what would, I guess obviously it depends on how it's passed down and, you know,
in
how
personal experience,
you know, parenting, but
I think I can only think of maybe there's only a couple people that really come to mind that I know that came from wealth. And they're amazing people, hardworking people.
Really?
But the thing is that the number of people that I've met that came from wealth and they're lazy and, you know, entitled, that there's way more people like that. And like, I mean, I went to college with friends who had paid tickets to school, whereas I was working, like, I wasn't supposed to. I was working like almost full-time hours while doing full-time school. Mm-hmm. And because my parents couldn't afford to help me. I mean, except for giving me a roof over my head, which that alone is a massive help.
Absolutely.
But like, I had friends who had dorms paid for them, or like
brand new cars,
their whole tuition paid. And then after a year, they decide, oh, I'm going to change to something else. I'm going to go to drama. I'm like, drama?
Yeah.
Or like, you know, something weird like that.
Yeah.
So like, it's just, and the thing is, and then their parents are paying for a whole another set, and then so on and so on. Or there are people that I know that, you know, their parents own these very successful companies, and then they get the paid ticket to be part of their parents' company, and they're like doing not even half the work. And, you know, I mean, they jumped in the queue of succession in the company.
Right.
So, you know, they never had to start from the bottom. They get pushed right to the top just because they're family.
Yeah.
It just, you know what? It just depends.
Yeah.
I mean, some families, some parents are really good at, yes, I think it's amazing for parents and family to pass on to the next generation because it gives us a leg up. But it's also important to teach your children those the values of hard work and what everyone has to go through. Yeah. We all have to start from somewhere. You can't just start at the top. When you start at the top, there's like, you have, you know, it's more about, I don't know,
the way I look at it is that hard work today is undervalued compared to what it used to be. You know, you could work your hands to the bone and be able to really to put a roof over your family's head and say, support your kids' wants and needs, and, you know, and be able to go on trips every year. But today that's been so skewed where, you know, the big businesses are just raking in the dough, and the employees, they work themselves to the bone, yet they can barely pay their mortgage still.
The point I was trying to get across is that when people start from the top, they never get that true sense of satisfaction.
Yes, no, I have seen that for sure.
For me, I am where I am today. I have a good job. I'm in a really good position in my company. And you know what? I started from the friggin' bottom. I've worked the most gruntiest of jobs, and even when I started with my company, I built my position. My position did not exist because my company didn't know it was needed. But I started doing the grunt work, and then I developed it, and I worked hard for it. The person, whoever replaces me in the future when I retire or whatever, are they going to start from the top? Probably not. They'll just be shoved into my position. Depends.
Also, will they appreciate the position?
Well, yeah, of what I created. Right. But anyways, it's just, I have that I'm very grateful for everything that I have. I've worked hard for it. And there's a lot of people who get by without it. And I don't really know, I think we're going really off a tangent here.
I think we might, to be honest.
You know, way off what this video is. Yeah. So anyways, feel free to cut this, but feel free to cut out early. Anyways, Ren, you know what it is? Ren makes me think. He gets
That's
me thinking.
the thing. He really gets conversations going, whether it's solidly about the topic he was talking, but he makes you think.
Yeah, so even though we're going off a tangent here, it's just he got us thinking about things. Yeah. So anyways, as always, Ren, amazing work. Yeah. You know, you're a true artist. We really appreciate you, and we can't wait to see what you come up with next.
You know what? And if he ever makes it to Toronto, I hope we can go see him.
Oh, I would love to. I mean, whether or
not
even
just like, I know we do these reactions, and I hope it supports him in any way that we can, getting his name out there to people that haven't heard about him.
Yeah, even though we don't have very many subscribers, but I mean, every little bit of spreading the word, every little bit counts, because this man, his voice needs to get out there. Yeah. He needs to get other people thinking. So, yeah.
And I know he's not looking to be, you know, the biggest artist in the world, but he's just so good. He's just I've never seen talent like this. It's just, he's just so well-rounded. He sings, he raps, he storytells, he plays guitar, piano.
I didn't know about the piano.
Neither did I. And then he makes his own beats as well and records himself.
No, yeah. I mean, considering what this man has gone through and all the health issues that he's had over the years, I'm like, my goodness. And that's the other thing is, I don't know if I'm sure maybe he's probably far out from ever touring, really. I'm sure all of his health issues have not been fully resolved. But I'm glad to see that he's actively back at work and he doesn't quit. Yeah, he's a strong man. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And you can hear our cat playing with something in the background. So that's our cue to end this before he eats something that he shouldn't be. Yeah. Anyways, have a good one.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right. Bye.